It's just, I just gotta say this, Herbie, as a longtime Dolphin fan. There is no team that I could ever remember, Herbie, and maybe fans of other misfortunate teams could feel me. But man, Herbie, there's just no team that just knows how to lose in a spectacular, heartbreaking fashion like the Dolphins, bro. They just know. We just know as a franchise how to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory, Herbie. Like the Dolphins are it's a skill at this point. It's a legacy talent, Herbie. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Nah, this one really hurts because if you ever had a fighting chance, if you had any hope of making the playoffs, this was your time. And you guys absolutely butchered it, dog. Like a pat a unnecessary roughness on a fucking heave from Josh Allen, who was off with his accuracy all game for the most part. You guys had it. You had it. And you gave it away, literally. And then your defense almost bailed you guys out. And then you guys, I'm not even gonna say you allowed. You just allowed them to get close enough to kick a 61-yard field goal in the wind, against the wind, and it could have went for 70. I heard, bro, listen to this. I heard the thud when he kicked that field goal. As soon as he kicked it, I'm like, oh, y'all lost.
It was a wrap.
It was a wrap. He put every single thing he had into that kick, dog. Like, I was like, yo, y'all really lost this game. That's crazy. That's legit crazy how you guys lost, man. But like you said, bro, you guys know how to pull victory away from or you know how to pull defeat from the jaws of victory, dog. Oh, we already got comments. Oh shit, we out the gate. We got comments, man. Yeah.
Bro, Blood, I feel you, my boy. I feel you. Trust me, I'm gonna get into it, dog. I'm gonna get into it, dog. This shit was cold.
Nah, go ahead, bro. No, go ahead, bro. The floor is yours, dog. Let's get right into it, dog. There's no point in cutting to the chase. Like we know what we here for, bro. We here to talk some Dolphins, man. So we already got people here waiting for your perspective, dog. You are the resident Dolphin fan. You were the resident Dolphin super fan, dog. It was a tasteful choice for you not to wear any Dolphins gear today, bro, because this ain't the day to do that, dog.
Nah, Herbie, bro. I told myself, you know what? The Dolphin hat gets worn when we win.
All right, fair enough. I respect it.
That's my rule. That's my code for this, dog. When we win, I'll rock it, man. But why rock a loser, Herbie? Huh? Why rock a loser, man?
All right, so let me properly introduce the segment, man. So Bills defeated the Miami Dolphins 30-27. Yeah, let's go ahead and get your breakdown, Rod. Listen, the floor is yours. I'm Chris Paul. You Victor Wembanyama. I'm finna throw you that alley, bro. Just go ahead and dunk that shit. Dunk it on these Dolphins' hands, bro. The floor is yours, sir.
Well, all right, Herbie. The way I'm going to do this, I'm going to talk about largely what went right first. I'll get the good out the way, a.k.a. the offense. And then I'll get to what went wrong, a.k.a. mostly the defense and stupid shit that the offense did manage to do. So the one thing I do want to do, Herbie, before we get into this parade, right? Because, listen, it's a loss. And, Herbie, you and I are both longtime football fans. We're both competitive people. You know, there's no such thing as a moral victory, right? Like, when you lose, you fucking lose. Like, there's nothing. But since we're talking about a football game, and a football game has a lot of different elements to it that you can take out of it, regardless of the result. So the number one thing I do want to do before it gets lost in the shuffle, I want to shout out the offensive line. I thought that this was probably the best game the offensive line played this season, considering the opponent, considering where we were. And you saw it, Herbie. Like, the offensive line was getting pushed consistently throughout the entire game. Devon Achane, Raheem Mostert, Jalen Wright, they had running lanes a majority of the afternoon. I also thought they actually did a pretty good job protecting Tua in the game as well. Tua was not really touched much of the afternoon. You really couldn't ask for much of a better performance from the offensive line, and really from the offense in general, because it wasn't just them, right? But I remember a long time ago, Herbie, one of the first things of football I learned was it all starts in the trenches. Now, in this game, the Dolphins showed you both sides of this. And on the offense, we were showing the good side of this, because our offense mind you, Herbie, the Bills are a top 6 defense. So, granted, they're ranked 15th coming into the game in the rushing, so that's their weakness. And we were able to take advantage of that. And I also wanted to shout out, obviously, Devon Achan continues to be the brightest star, the brightest spot of the team. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tip my hat to Tua, Herbie. Like, I thought he played a great game, Herbie. Like, to be completely honest with you, it's kind of hard to ask Tua. He made his mistakes. He had a fumble snap early on that kind of messed us up on the drive. There was a touchdown he could have got to Tyreek. We ended up scoring on the drive anyway, so it worked out on a deep pass. But for the most part, Herbie, I mean, think about this. Tua had 3 incompletions and 2 of them were throwaways. So you really can't ask him to have a better game than he had. And even despite Tua playing one of his best games, even despite us having an effective running game all afternoon, we still can't stop the Bills when it matters, Herbie. And this is where things get bad. It's because the Dolphins are bad at situational football. Herbie, there's no reason for Jordan Poyer to get that penalty when we need to stop the Bills. There's no reason for Cam Smith to have back-to-back freaking plays where he's doing a holding or a pass interference. Like, just the boneheaded, stupid plays that sometimes some of these guys make on the team, Herbie, that kill us. And then the defense overall, Herbie, I know in the first half the game was a bit of a slog. Like in the first half, it was a 10-6 first half. But reality, Herbie, the defense didn't really look good to me all afternoon. Outside of that crazy Ramsey pick, which should have been a touchdown, the ball just popped out of Keon Coleman's hands. And shout out to Ramsey for making the play, and we scored a 97-yard fucking touchdown drive on there. But the reality of it is, Herbie, the Bills were shooting themselves in the foot a lot in the first half of the game. And if you're a Dolphin fan and you didn't watch the game and you see, oh, we're holding Buffalo to 6 points, it was just more of them shooting themselves in the foot, I felt like, more than it was the D actually stopping them. And once Buffalo got rolling, Herbie, from basically the end of the first half all the way through the end of the game, they basically scored on every freaking drive they had. And Herbie, there's no way the Dolphins are going to be able to listen. We spoke about it before, before Tua got back. Him getting hurt just ended up derailing our season, right? Because at the end of the day, no matter what people think, for Miami, Tua is a game changer. You saw it today. You saw him make plays when shit broke down. He tied the game, made some clutch plays. I had a heart attack when I saw him run on that 4th down on the final drive to tie the game. But you saw I described his talents and his skills last week, so I won't get into that. But you saw that against a top 3 quarterback going up against a top 6 defense, when everything around him was not holding him back, he was able to play pretty freaking well. He was able to match Josh Allen, and that wasn't enough. And Herbie, it's like, how do you turn the ship around when your best player or one of your best players or the best unit plays a pretty great game and you still can't seal the deal? Like the Dolphins D couldn't get anything in the second half, Herbie. We couldn't get a stop. We couldn't get a turnover. Like, we needed them to do something for us to win the game, Herbie, because the offense did their part. Now, Raheem Mostert to start the second half had that fumble. And that's the other thing, Herbie, the snapping issues. Like, the Dolphins and like I think we lead the league in fumbles. I think we have 8 fumbles lost this season. Like, we're a terrible team when it comes to holding on to the ball, literally. So these are things that got to get cleaned up. At this point, Herbie, where the Dolphins are, it's no longer about the playoffs, because you got to go 7-2 to go 9-8. And for the Dolphins to go 9-8 with this defense, with some of the teams we'll be playing, I have faith in the offense. The offense in back-to-back weeks has shown why they were the number 1 offense in football last season. But when you look at the way the defense is playing, how poorly they play situationally, the bad decisions some of these guys, Herbie, I swear to God, I thought Jordan Poyer, I thought he sold out, Herbie. I was like, man, Jordan Poyer must have put mad cash on the ticket on this game, bro. With the way like, bro, how do you make a play like that, bro? At the end of the game, bro, when Buffalo, like that, Josh Allen was not gonna make that pass, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the other deep, like Cam actually had pretty good coverage on him in that moment. So I don't know, Herbie. It's frustrating to watch this team, Herbie, because to see the offense play as well.
Hey, whoa, relax, man, relax. Take a deep breath, my brother. Take a deep breath, please. Take a deep breath. You gotta acknowledge something, Rod. The season was over already, man. Like, you guys were toast. You guys were overbaked. You guys were overcooked. You guys were that souffle that came out fully black out of the kitchen, dog, that you paid $300 for, bruh, at a 3 Michelin star restaurant, bruh. I get it, but you knew this going into this game. You guys winning or losing wasn't going to change anything. You guys making the playoffs was slim. Now it's not happening.
Well,
you guys,
let me say this though, Herbie. It wasn't even about like, okay, yeah, we make the playoffs, we're gonna go on the road, and who knows what we're gonna do. At this point, Herbie, I'm not even worried about that. What I'm worried about is Mike McDaniel's job. I actually like the coach, even though there are people calling for him to get fired. I'm not really putting all the blame on him for this.
Okay, so let's stay there. Do you actually think that his job is on the line? Like, you know Stephen Morris more than I do. You're way more familiar with him. Do you legitimately think that Mike McDaniel, there's an opportunity for him to be removed of his services at the end of the season?
To be honest with you, not really. I don't really think they're gonna fire him. I think there's a lot of people calling for him to get fired. And Stephen Ross, he can be a little impulsive, but I think even he could look at kind of the bigger picture at what happened. It's not like we're the Bengals, right? Like, look at Zach Taylor. You know what I mean? Like, Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow's been playing. Yeah, they've been missing T. Higgins, but the Bengals are in a rough position with their starting quarterback playing all season. So, in our situation where they're wrong isn't with the coaching. I thought Mike McDaniel had his best play calling game of the season. Like, he called plays exactly the way we could dream of. He stuck to the run and we played methodical ball. But
yeah, we talk about it. We're talking about play calling to the point where Tua, and again, this is a part of Tua's skill set as well. But he was 25 or 28
with 2 throwaways, Herbie.
With two throwaways.
With 2 throwaways. So he had 1 true incompletion.
so you, I get it. Trust me, we have a whole. We're in the groups. We see the chatter. We understand what the online noise is, right? But at some point, we gotta understand that we cannot let outside noise make inside decisions, especially when there's no true way to say that if you replace Mike McDaniel, you're getting somebody better. Like, for whatever 100%. Reason, fans think the next man is going to be better, bruh. You know what happens when you fire a coach? You might fuck around and hire Adam Gase. Like, so that's a possibility.
Oh, God. I think I'm having flashbacks, bruh.
You might hire Bob McAdoo. Oh. You might hire Freddie Kitchens. There's no guarantee that the guy that you're replacing that has shown that he is a adequate and high level head coach, or he brings something that is unique to the situation. Don't get rid of him. He's not Jason Garrett.
No.
He's not Mike McCarthy. I know. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. So this necessity for fans to always want to get rid of somebody, dog. Like, I got into it. It is a sickness. I get it. You feel like, and again, that's why fan is short for fanatic. I get it. I'm a part of it. You know what I'm saying? I just got drafted to a new team because I got tired of my old one, bro. Like, I know, but we gotta just think logically right now. Based on how Tua is in this system with that head coach and this offensive infrastructure, you can't get rid of that for Tua's sake. Like, agreed. Let the guy have 2 seasons together when they are combined for 2 seasons in a row. It's never happened.
Facts.
It's literally never happened. So, guys, relax, dog. Relax. Yes, blood. Ask me how I know. That was long 9 years.
Shout out to Sis. Hey,
man,
on the pod.
Shout out to the homie, man. Shout out to everybody that's showing love. But yeah, back to that point. So, Rod, do you feel like your organization is something that lets outside noise get in and influence very major decisions? Like, For example, the Cleveland fucking Browns. You guys aren't them.
No, no, no. I can't say
So,
that. I can't say that.
so what are your criticisms of Mike McDaniel that you think are fair?
Well, a lot of the criticisms I have of him, one, his time management hasn't always been the best. I don't think this nigga's ever won a challenge, or if he's won a challenge, he's only won one. And early on, Herbie, I thought he was really rigid in his play calling. I thought he was. I don't want to say he was unable to adjust. I would say that Mike McDaniel had shown in the past a willingness to be stubborn and to be stuck to his game plan. And that's one of the things that makes me sad watching this game and watching us lose and really watching how this season has gone, because this season is just wasted potential. You know, in this game against the Bills, Herbie, the Dolphins played in a way I love to see. They adjusted, right? The Dolphins, since Mike McDaniel has been the head coach, they've been a haymaker, Mike Tyson, let's knock a nigga out type of team. Like, we relied on big plays to really get us over the hump. If the past two games, Herbie, I'm watching the Dolphins offense and we're running the ball. We're moving methodically. When Mike McDaniel was hired, one of the first things he said was, and I'm paraphrasing it here, one of the first things he said, Herbie, was you got to force teams into single high coverage. You know what I mean? Which is his way of saying you're going to run the ball. And then when you run the ball enough, Herbie, teams have to play single high. And that's exactly what happened in the game. The Dolphins' offensive game plan against the top six defense it worked because we ran the ball early. We were able to throw short passes. Tua, by the way, has become a much better decision maker. Because Herbie, one of our first videos on this channel was talking about him being a gunslinger, and you could see the maturation with him becoming more of a game manager. You can see the maturation with him being willing to take the short pass. You can see the maturation with him being willing to hit his checkdowns. And because of the speed we have on the team, you throw a check down to Devon Achane or Raheem Mostert, which should be 4 yards, turns into 10 or 11. So, you know, Tua is finally entering that stage where he's mastering Mike McDaniel's offense. And I think Mike McDaniel, at least in this game, because there's definitely been some play calling in previous games that have bothered me with, you know, how he was running the offense, because he just didn't know what to do without Tua. But with Tua, they have gained a chemistry to where they're basically in lockstep with how they move in terms and how they're thinking and how they're seeing the field. And you've been seeing it since Tua's been back. So you know, the things that worried me about Mike McDaniel, he's worked on them. Like, his play calling has improved. He's not throwing all the time on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1. You know, the Dolphins are using Jonnu Smith, a tight end. We were one of the teams last season that we were actually statistically, I believe, we used the tight ends least amount than anybody. I think our tight ends collectively had 41 receptions total. So we're getting Jonnu Smith involved. Having Odell helps out. You know, he's still got something left in the tank to help us out. So, you know, with the wealth of talent that Miami has, I think Mike McDaniel has at least done as well as he can when everybody's been healthy. So, you know, I don't have too many gripes about the guy, Herbie. He's been losing games. I mean, obviously, he lets the defensive coordinator. Anthony Weaver is the one who handles the defense. Obviously, he's the head coach, so he has to take some responsibility in the defense failing. But, you know, on his side of the ball, he has improved. He's learning, and I can't be too mad at him for it. And I mean, listen, it's hard, Herbie, for me as a Dolphin fan to tell other Dolphin fans to be patient. How long are you going to be patient, man? And niggas, we haven't won a Super Bowl since 1973.
That's
Haven't been to
nasty
one
work,
since '84.
man.
So,
That is some nasty work. That's a lot
you know,
of
it's
nasty
hard to
work,
tell
man.
fans to be patient, especially when we've had this regime.
But okay, my rebuttal to that is, okay, you haven't won since 1972. We get it. You want to be the Jags? Like, there's a lot of teams that haven't won a fucking Super Bowl, dog. Like, that's how it goes, bro. Like, it is not a birthright to win a Super Bowl. Yes, you would love to see it. But I'm going to tell you this. Think about this. The Eagles won in 2018 or 2017, whenever it was.
Yeah.
They've ran through 3 or 4 head coaches since then. The Eagles ran out Andy Reid, bro. Like, there is a point in time where you're just being ridiculous as fans, dog. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. There's at point in times where, okay, guys, like, come on, dog. What are we talking about right now? And again, I get it. I understand. We're tired. We're tired. Like, we wake up every day. We go to jobs that we hate. We come home. We're abused mentally. We're exhausted physically and mentally. And the last thing that we want to do is make it to Sunday and see our team implode, dog. Like that's the only gift that we have, and that gets taken from us too. I get it. I get it. But we have to have some perspective, dog. Like, we have to have perspective, guys. Mike McDaniel is a good coach. There's a lot of bad coaches. Think
Herbie,
about
at
this.
minimum.
Think about this. Rod, do you know who the Las Vegas Raiders head coach is? You want Antonio Pierce, dog? Is that who you want? Is that who you want, bro?
Well, I don't want Nathaniel Hackett. Or
like, do you want
like
Nathaniel Hackett that was so bad they got that nigga out of there in 6 games? Like, the grass is not always greener, bro. But
100%.
Let's move on from then. I want to ask you one more thing before we move on to the Dallas Cowboys and Atlanta Falcons. What are you looking to see for the rest of the season as a fan? What are you looking to take away that will make you feel more excited going into next offseason?
Man, Herbie, it's we're in a screwed up position, right? Because the strategist in me is like, bro, there's no point in us like trying to win too many games, right? Like, you don't want to see your team lose, but it's just like, bro, like, what are we really playing for? Because I don't think Mike McDaniel, even if the Dolphins end up a losing season, like numbers wise, like 7-10 or some shit, like, I don't think Mike is gonna lose his job just because Tua was hurt. So it's just like, all right, if we're bad, it is what it is. But at the same time, it would be cool to see if the Dolphins could pull off a miraculous comeback to get into it. Honestly, I haven't even looked at this. I know who we are playing on the schedule, which is why I think it's unlikely. And with the way the defense just can't come through for us. The offense can come through now that Tua's back. Like, he was clutch in that final drive. He was pretty clutch last week. But it doesn't matter, Herbie. If you score and then your defense can't stop the other team, then what can you do? Like, I can't really be mad at you for that. And if that's what we're going to be dealing with all season long, I'll take some good games. And if we lose and get a high draft position, then we could kind of shore up the team for next season. You know what I mean? But I don't know what there is to really look forward to, Herbie, because I don't see a playoff berth. And even if by miracle the Dolphins make the playoffs, we just haven't proven that we can go on the road and beat some of these really good teams in these cold cities. So anyway, talking about the playoffs right now is insanity. Like, we'd have to see the Dolphins go on like a winning streak, like a 4-game winning streak, and kind of get within 500. If they can pull something like that off, we'll be talking. But right now, Herbie, listen, I do want to see the guys that we have on the team fight, because we got some winnable games left on the schedule. So anything can happen in NFL. I remember when the RG3 Redskins were 3-6 and they finished 10-6. Like, the NFL is a weird league. Like, a team could be down and out, and next thing you know, they could be, you know what I'm saying, on the cusp of, of a playoff berth for that final wild card spot. The AFC is as muddled as it's ever been, other than a couple of teams. So, shit, we'll see, man. It's gonna be a ride. At least, hey, we ain't gotta watch Skyler. We ain't gotta watch Tyler. I'm happy.
Hey, one thing about you Dolphin fans, man, boy, you niggas find a way to make up some shit in y'all head, bro, to be excited about, dog. What you talking about, dog?
I got to.
What's
the point?
Nigga, you talking about a season that happened in 2012. Nigga, don't reference no RG3 shit out of here. Get out of here, man. Like,
bro, the Bengals did this shit like 2 years ago. They started like 1-4 and they made the playoffs. Herbie, it happens.
Okay.
It
happens, but there's a difference between 1-4.
We did that shit, Herbie. We started 1-7 and finished 9-8 already.
That is true. But do you think that gets you in the playoffs though?
Herbie, do you think that a 9-8 team is making the playoffs? Herbie, look at that.
Are you guys making the playoffs as a 9-8 team? It's not a 9. Not all 9-8 teams are created equal.
That depends on the tiebreakers, Herbie. I don't know where we're at now. That depends on the end of the season. That depends on everybody else.
Hey,
it's Herbie, I'm not saying we're gonna make. I'm not gonna say, we'll make it, but it's not impossible.
Right.
It's not impossible. That's all I'm saying.
For your own sanity, for your own heart, dog. Leave that hoe alone, man. Leave her alone, dog. Leave her alone. She not good for you, though, boy, bro. Like, leave her alone. As your homeboy, yeah, she look cute. Yeah, she look good, dog, but leave her alone, bro. I know what she is. I know what she could do to you, bro. I dealt with it for 20 years, bro. Leave that hoe alone, man. Like, leave her alone, man. Like, for real, man. Yeah. All
I
right.
mean, I don't. Why you had to use that analogy? I felt
I
that
just,
to
bro,
in my heart.
because the way that you just did a 180, that shit was nasty, nigga. We went from disappointment to just, all right, but if you really think about it, we could do this, and this could happen, and that could happen. Nigga, no. That BBL don't look good out the jeans, bro. Leave that hoe alone, man. Like, for real, dog.
And shout out to my dog Adrian.
Hey, I know you see my Ravens, man. We went crazy on the Broncos today. Yeah, we went stupid. We went stupid. Yeah.